An 18-year-old is slammed to the ground, and a father and community stand up to make sure the officer gets punished for this heinous crime.
Many people focused on this event. It's hard, it's hard for him to do his job, and that's why we took the action we took.
You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. You understand?
January 24th, 2024, South Whitley police officer Brian Schimmel stopped a vehicle going 37 in a 30 zone. After pulling her over, he approached the driver, 18-year-old, with his body cam off. Within a minute of being pulled over, she found herself on the floor with the officer slamming her before he even activated his body cam. Police officer Brian gave her 15 seconds to comply and give her ID or face the consequence. And that's when she found her face on the floor.
Give me your other hand. It didn't have to be like this. One detained. All right, get up. Roll over on your butt.
I have a knee injury. Please help me out.
Which knee's hurt?
No, I have a knee injury.
Okay, ready? We're gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3, up. How old are you?
18.
Good job, you're going to jail.
Well, can you
Refusing to identify.
Can you please grab my things for me?
You're what?
Can you please grab my phone and my license for me?
Yep. Take a seat.
And my keys?
Take a seat. I'm not going to ask you any questions right now. What I am going to tell you is you were pulled over for your speed and your headlight, okay? Your speed was 37 and then 30, not that big of a deal, and your headlight was out on your driver's side. Just pulling you over to let you know. If you would have just given me your license and your registration like I asked you to do, you would have gone away with a warning tonight, okay? But however, since you decided to pull this right here, where you don't want to comply, you don't want to give me your ID, and you think you're going to run the scene, you're now going to jail. Do you understand?
I was trying to give you my ID.
You were not. How many times did I ask you?
I was pulling over.
You were not. I've got a body cam on. It'll show you not pulling your ID out. When I ask you to step out of the vehicle, you step out of the vehicle. You don't get to sit there and tell me how I'm going to do my job. Do you understand?
I was attached to my
Pull over for headlight and speed.
Okay.
Cracks her window. Ask her to roll it down the rest of the way. Cracks it another ½ inch. Ask her to exit. She refuses to exit until I tell her why. Tell her about 4 or 5 times to exit the vehicle. You don't want to go down this route. Refuse to exit. So, pull her out, put her in arm bars, slammed her to the ground, got her in custody.
How old is she?
She said she's 18.
Okay.
So she's going to go to jail.
Well, it's a good thing she called her dad, who showed up 8 minutes later.
So I'll tell you, because I'm the one that pulled her over. So I pulled her over for speed, 37 and a 30, and then the headlight, okay? Her driver's side headlight's out.
Oh, okay.
Pull her over, she pulls in here, cracks the window. Oh, they're talking to me.
I got it.
Okay. Cracks the window, ask her to roll the window down a little bit more. All the commotion and the rain, I can't hear her.
Yeah.
Refuses to do that. Ask her to step out of the vehicle, she refuses to step out. Ask her probably 4, 5, 6 times to exit the vehicle nicely. Ask her please, refuse to do it. Want to give me her ID, want to give me her registration. So she's assisted out of the vehicle, placed into custody, resisting arrest and failure to identify.
Okay.
Okay.
That's, I mean, honestly, I know she's 18. That's probably my bad because I've instructed her that you roll the window down like that much.
Absolutely. You don't have to roll it down all the way as long as you can get the ID out. The problem is when I can't hear because of traffic and the rain and everything, we're in a gas station.
I know. I'm saying
and you ask her to exit the vehicle and she refuses to do so. You know what I mean? Then we go down this route.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to let you know. Are you dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my dad's a retired state trooper.
Okay.
So,
do you have somebody? Well, I already called a hook. I wish you would have got here a few minutes earlier. I would have just gave you the car, but there's already a wrecker on the way. So,
I can't just take my car?
let me see if they called him.
I got it.
He'll do
I
it.
was going to say wrecker or not.
Well, they've already been called, but if they're not in the truck yet, I'll get it to you. I don't have an issue with that.
Okay.
I just have to do a search incident to arrest, make sure there's nothing in there she shouldn't have, and then I'll give it to you.
Okay.
After getting a watered-down version of the events, the father remained calm like his daughter, although he did suspect that there was some foul play. He was allowed to meet her and follow the officers to the station and bail her out.
And when we saw the video, we were completely shocked with how violent and fast it escalated. She's being charged with failure to identify, but her driver's license can clearly be seen on the ground from his body cam while he's on top of her.
The council released a statement saying the officer's actions were flawed, but not worthy of dismissal. This shocked the entire community, and they resorted to sending death threats to the leadership of the council and Officer Bryan, an action which ensured that Officer Bryan was fired.
Learning experience for my daughter.
The council admitted the officer's actions were flawed but not fireable. This angered the community, resulting in death threats and eventually Officer Bryan's dismissal.
I almost feel like for them to back him and then 2 days later to terminate him is a little bit confusing. I'm sure that he's confused as well.
My position is he did it by the book. I was advised that there was no illegal activity. It's hard to terminate someone if there's no illegal activity.
But that decision isn't sitting well with everyone.
I thought of my own children, and I have a son who's on the spectrum, who's taking driver's training currently, and so I'm worried now for him to be driving through town and be pulled over possibly and ask questions and wonder why he's being told to get out of the car.
The council felt allowing the teenager to talk to the father was the biggest mistake in this.
And if that is the biggest concern they have with how procedure and policy was followed, that speaks volumes about our town council and how tone deaf they are in this situation.
Obviously, he could have had a little bit better attitude. Attitude isn't necessarily against the law. If Miss Augusta just would have complied, she would have been in and out in a matter of 2 minutes. I would like to reiterate, I've talked to 3 different surrounding agencies. I talked to a gentleman that was the assistant chief from a nearby department, and he said it was by the book.
I'm quite disappointed that this is the direction that they've chosen to double down.